And apparently, Ohio State head coach Jim Tressel subscribes to the notion that you shouldn't forget where you came from.
Before taking the reins in Columbus, Tressel coached at Akron and at Youngstown State, and those are the Buckeyes' first two opponents on the 2007 schedule.
But the man in the sweater vest, he didn't mean for his current team, the 12th ranked team in the country, to be so hospitable to his ex-employers. The Bucs needed a couple of fourth-quarter touchdowns last week to make sure the Youngstown State game looked good on paper, and they didn't exactly throttle the Zips this afternoon either in Columbus. Ohio State's winning streak against in-state opponents goes back to 1921, but it was the visiting Zips who dented the scoreboard first this afternoon when Brian Stokes stuffs Chris Wells. And after 30 minutes of thrilling football, the score was 3-2 Ohio State at the half. Bucs defense was getting it done, though. Cameron Hayward gets in on Chris Jacquemain. 3 and out for the Zips on that series, and that was pretty much the headline for the entire game. It's 6-2 now, Ohio State in the third, when Ohio State actually moves the football some in a positive direction. Todd Beckman to Brian Robisky. That's 39 yards, and that's progress on a day like this, and it sets up Beckman to Brandon Sane from 6 yards out. That makes it 13-2 in favor of the home team, so things are looking up. And this time on the ground, things look really good. Wells breaks one at the line of scrimmage and then lays a huge stiff arm on Devonzo Tate right there. That springs him for 43 yards. And it was part of a drive that got the Bucs in the end zone again. Same combination, Beckman to Robisky, 14 yards. And on a day when Akron got 3 first downs for the game and had to punt 14 times, the Buckeyes win. Not pretty, but they do win. Final score is 20-2.
I think it was the fact that everyone just kind of did their job. We executed well, and I don't think it was anything special. I think guys were just focused, locked in, like Coach had said. When you can win, first down situations and put them in second and third and long, it makes it a lot easier to get off the field.
Just unbelievable defense. They're fast, they're strong, they get to the ball, and they make plays. We expect them to do it each and every week because the type of the players we got over there. We're really excited about it.
I mean, we go on the road this week against a very tough opponent in Washington. And it's going to be a real hostile environment out there, but we know that we've got to protect the football better. We've got to do the little things better, and that's what you do to help win on the road.
Jim Tressel has the reputation of a quiet leader. His players say he typically spends halftime making adjustments instead of yelling and throwing things at the wall. But today, with as many turnovers as points at halftime, the players say Coach Tressel actually raised his voice and asked his offense to raise its game. From Columbus, here is Joe Danneman.
Offensive captain Kirk Barton sat down in the postgame press conference, fired back some soft drinks, then fired away at his offense.
Offensively, we need to look in the mirror, because we're not on the slope that we need to be on. We need to be getting better every day, and it seems like we're just either flatlining or getting worse.
The Ohio State coaches wanted to see some rhythm and some consistency on offense in the last tune-up before the first true test of the season next weekend. Instead, the offense turned the ball over 5 times and gave up Akron's only 2 points.
We knew what they were going to do. We had a great game plan. Our coaches scouted them well. We watched a ton of film. We just didn't execute. And when you shoot yourself in the foot as well, I mean, it makes it just turns into an avalanche.
It was frustrating, so frustrating. I mean, just because we can be such a good football team, and just to go out there and play how we did in the first drive and the first few drives, actually.
It's tough always, doing the things we did there in the first half. We struggled and, we turned the ball over. You just can't do that against good teams. Expect to win the game. You can't turn the ball over 5 times.
20 points, they didn't reach our team goal. Our offensive team goal is 24 points, and I think that should be higher. We should be able to score more than 20 points. We know what we can do as a football team, and we practice with each other every day, and we know we're a good football team, so we should be all right.
The Buckeyes survived the flat offensive performance on the backs of a dominating defense. Akron finished with only 3 yards rushing and only 69 total yards for the entire game.
As a defensive lineman, you definitely want to see that 0 rushing up there. So when they didn't have any rushing yards up there, I was proud. But once they got 3, I kind of got mad. But, it was a great game for us.
And at no point did Akron even threaten to score on offense. In fact, the Buckeyes defense forced 13 straight 3-and-outs and a school record 14 forced punts.
We just had fun, we came out there with a different swagger, a new attitude, and we all just had fun and covered each other up.
The rest of the year, it's going to get harder and harder and harder as we go, and one of the things our guys really talked about in the summertime this year, really making an effort to try and improve every game.
If there's any complaint in Ohio State's near flawless defensive performance, it's a lack of turnovers. It took the Buckeyes 7.5 quarters against Youngstown State and Akron to force its first fumble. And even after 2 easy wins, Ohio State is still a head-scratching -5 in the turnover differential. Reporting from Ohio Stadium, I'm Joe Daneman, Fox 19 Sports.